Hello lovely book dragons and welcome to Vlogmas Day 10. Today for one of our last Vlogmas videos, there's only 4 more videos to go, I cannot believe it. But today guys, we're gonna talk about the series I want to start in 2021. If you have seen either my top 10 to read in 2021 or my winter TBR, you will see that there are some series on there. And in the meantime, some other series have made their way onto my series to start next year. And I wanted to share that list with you guys, in case you want to buddy read, in case you just are curious. Here you have the list. Now, are these all the series I plan on starting in 2021? Probably not. I mean, there's new series that are coming out in 2021 that I'm going to start. This video is pretty much series that already have a couple of books out and that I actually want to get on the bandwagon for. So nothing like, oh, next year the first book in this series is coming out. That doesn't count, but things that have like 2 or more books out and that I definitely want to start next year. The first series I want to start comes as no surprise if you've been on my channel this month of December, and that is The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne, with the first book being Malice. I've been talking about Malice ad nauseum on this channel. I talked about it in my top 10 to read in 2021. I talked about it in my winter TBR. Malice is a book I definitely want to read. The Faithful and the Fallen series is a series I definitely want to get to next year. And actually I want to get to the Banished Land in general. So John Gwynne has The Faithful and the Fallen, and then he has another series that I don't know what it's called, but it's also in the same world. And I would love, of course, to get also to the second series, and he's coming out with a new book set in the same world in 2021. So ideally, I would just read all of John Gwynne, but I would already be happy to start and hopefully finish, if I love it, The Faithful and the Fallen series in 2021. If you want a more in-depth synopsis of Malice, I will leave all the books I talk about in the description. But basically, it's a book where you have armies of giants and men fighting against each other, and there's a war, and there's like 2 prophesied beings or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember it 100%, but I'm so excited. I hear amazing things about John Gwynne and his books. And like I said, I watched an interview of him on Mike's channel, and he seems to be such a cool guy. I definitely want to get to his books, and so many people just love them that I have to get to it. Next up, and also as no surprise if you've been on the channel at all in the month of December, is the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee, with the first book being Jade City. This series sounds like it's so much fun. It's like mafia fantasy with magic, and I'm just so excited about this. I have now heard Elliot Brooks give it a not so good rating, so I'm a bit nervous, but I am still so excited to read Jade City, and I have now Jade War, if you saw my last vlog, and I'm just so excited to get to this series. Like I said, all the books will be in the description down below, but mafia fantasy sounds right up my alley. The next series I want to start, I have been putting this one off, to be very honest with you guys, but Jade over at Bedtime Bookworm is hosting a read-along for the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan and finished by Brandon Sanderson, with the first book being The Eye of the World. This series is so intimidating. It has like 15 books out. Most books are between 700 and 1300 pages, I think, or something ridiculous like that. They are huge. They are behemoths. I mean, Brandon Sanderson finished it. That should tell you enough about how big the books are going to be. This is like such a classic fantasy series, and so many people have read it, so many people have loved it, and I definitely want to get to it. I actually started The Eye of the World back in January of this year, when I had my broken leg, and I was loving it. But then I realized I had the books borrowed out from a friend, and I decided that I wanted to annotate them. I decided that I really wanted to delve deep into these books because it seemed to be like such a gem. And so now I have the first 7 books that my lovely friends Manganet, Natasha, and Philippa gave me for my birthday. And so I'm gonna start The Wheel of Time with the Waterlong group, and I'm so excited. And like my friend Andrew is also joining, and I'm so excited to read it with Andrew because Andrew is just like one of my favorite people now. And there's like so many people reading, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Like, if you want to read The Wheel of Time, 2021 is your year. We're starting with The Eye of the World. Do it. The next series I want to start is really inspired by Mike's Books reviews. Alex Nieves, Alan over at the Library of Alexandria, and Jeff from the Fowler Project. They all love the Greycoat series by Sebastian de Castell, with the first book being Traitor's Blade. So The Greycoats was the channel read-along for the last 4 months over on Mike's Book Reviews Discord and channel, and I actually started Traitor's Blade on Kindle. I read the first, I think, 5 chapters, and I was loving it. The first 5 chapters were like stupidly amazing, and I loved it so much, and I thought, nah, I need to read these physically, I need to annotate them, I'm gonna love these books, I need to get to them. And then recently, Jeff, who is our team captain over at the McAllister family, he said, guys, we need to get on the Grey Coat series, and I actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that in 2021. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think this is like a swashbuckling fantasy series, and that is just a ton of fun. I hear that the third book is not that good, but that the rest of the series is amazing, so. The next series is also a series that I talked about in my winter TBR, and that is the Winter Night Trilogy by Catherine Arden, with the first book being The Bear and the Nightingale. This series is something that I have been wanting to read for a very long time, and apparently the winter is when to read it, and like, you know, because it's so cold, it makes you feel so cold. And I saw that one of my other favorite people to watch, Angela, over at Literature Science Alliance, you know, when this is not your first language, literature is a hard word to say, but she's also going to be reading The Bear and Nightingale, I think, or she's going to reread it. I don't remember, but basically she's going to be reading it, and I'm going to be reading it, so maybe I'll talk to her a little bit about it because I'm so excited about this. The premise of the book sounds really interesting. It's Russian-inspired folklore about a girl who I think sees the spirits of the gods or something like that, and then people stop believing in those gods and they stop protecting them, something like that. It sounds really good, super atmospheric, and I'm so excited to start this right up in the winter because the Winter Night Trilogy needs to be read in the winter. The next series I'm super excited to start next year, I think it's the one I'm most excited about, is The Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie, with the first book being A Little Hatred. Trilogy is also set in the First Law universe, and you need to read the First Law trilogy and all the standalones before getting to the Age of Madness. I think you don't have to, but you should, because, you know, you might as well. And I love Joe Abercrombie. He's definitely one of my favorite authors of all time. I will read everything and anything he has written, and I definitely want to get to his new series, which means I need to finish reading the standalones, which I will do, and then I will get to the Age of Madness, and that will be concluded next year, so it's the perfect year to get to it. I am so excited. Guys, I love Joe Abercrombie. He is definitely one of my faves. I love him so much. Next up are two series that I've already talked about on this channel, and that would be the Liveship Traders Trilogy by Robin Hobb, with the first book being Ship of Magic, and the Tawny Man Trilogy, and I don't remember which one is the first book in that one. Fits in the Fool? I'm not sure. But point is, these are the next two trilogies in the realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. I read the Farseer trilogy in 2020 and I absolutely loved it, and I just need to continue on in Robin Hobb's world, and there's no reason that I haven't. Well, there is. The books are all 900 pages. And I was a bit intimidated, but 2021 is the year of big books. It's the year that I'm so excited to delve into all these series, and I can't wait. I can't wait to return to Fitz and the Fool, but I've heard from so many people that Liveship is amazing, you know? And I was terrified of Liveship because I don't really like sea fantasy, like stuff set on the sea. I'm not a big fan of ships and all that. Like, Clash of Kings was one of the hardest books to read because of that. But you know what? If everyone loves it so much, even people who also don't like that kind of stuff, then I'm not scared. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna read it, and I think it's gonna be awesome. And the final series I would love to start in 2021, at least in theory, because there's gonna be other series I'm gonna start, but let's talk about it as if it were the last series, is the Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch, with the first book being The Lies of Locke Lamora. Now, I have started The Lies of Locke Lamora 2 times before. One time, like a couple of years ago, I got 75% into the book. And then something happened, and I remember exactly what it is that happened. And I had to put the book down because it kind of broke me. And then I started it again this year in 2020. And then I was really not in the mood for like a flashback heist fantasy. And so I put it down. But in 2021, I want to continue because it's also rumored that The Thorn of Emberlane, the 4th book in the series, is coming out. And if that's the case, I want to be caught up. So I hope to read at least The Lies of Locke Lamora, and if really The Thorn of Emberlane is coming out, then I want to binge and catch up to the series, because this is a heist fantasy. And if you know anything about me, The Final Empire is one of my all-time favorite books, probably my all-time favorite book. And it's a heist story, and I love it. And I remember loving The Lies of Locke Lamora the first time I was reading it, but I wasn't prepared for that kind of fantasy. I was only reading YA back then, and I decided, oh, let's just read this book, you know? And I wasn't ready. And now that I read a ton of more adult than YA, I want to get back to it, and I want to enjoy it and savor it until the last moment. So there you go, guys. Those are the series that I want to start in 2021 and hopefully catch up on in 2021. hopefully. Let me know down below what you guys want to read. What are some series that are on your radar and you're definitely going to start next year? And let me know if you want to buddy read any of these series. And I will see you in 2 days with Vlogmas Day 11. Bye guys!